My Energy Ecliptic. Love's Circle Persona. Self-love, best love, world love. You knows my honor. Greetings, that be your host, JaMes Peter Bastien. And peace, prosperity, power. It's my honor to share my affirmations, visualizations, and unisons manifestations and all satisfactions. The mind, body, and soul is to grow in all facets. Presented in procreation, this is MB19 podcast show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming, ascending the greatest of all satisfaction like your goal is a bullseye. Your actions are dark. Believe in you no matter the ending or the start. For your life, such precious life, must you claim it. Controlling disappointments. My only disappointment is not being able to control a feeling and being disappointed. Most rely on me to diminish my truth. For me, I'll die for he, parenting my future and presence my youths. The foundation of thy mind is set on procreation. Governor of my world, laws with direct principles with no debating. Dear life, with this I send to you to give me the patience for the visuals of the future which leave me vacant in anticipation. So for every second of every minute, I send peace, prosperity, power. Controlling disappointment. We all know that we are imperfect as human beings. Logic over emotion, I have the tendency to try my best to not cleanse into the emotional factor that said to be or to do things. So I try my best to look at the logical things like the mathematical approach, the causes and effect, right? The bondage to the actions that's plagues into things. And what I've learned is that being a human means that you're emotional, right? You can't be a human without emotional, right? So even the idea of being non-emotional is emotional, right? Being blank-faced, whatever you may say the term may be, being stoic, however you wanted to frame it, right? It's like silence itself is a conversation, just as words and sound completes a conversation, so does nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is always something that you learn. And for me, I would say this conversation goes into the realm for me because not even just a couple of days ago, a couple of days ago I had a direct situation that made me effectively felt the need, I really didn't know that, again, this was going to be a topic of conversation for a podcast episode, but I definitely had something in that factor of like, feeling disappointed towards someone that did something towards me. And as much as I could have at that moment took a lash on them from that factor, just as my thought was at that moment, just like, why would I be upset at this person? You know what I'm saying? Why be mad? You know what I'm saying? I'm already aware that we're imperfect beings as humans. You know what I mean? So why hold that so hardly against someone? You know what I mean? Or even the aspect of, they say the terms kids, adults, and so on like that, and then you naturally give somebody a respect based on age or based on time frame. You thinking, okay, because of that, let me just give that, and then you realize that person don't even give that to themselves, don't even honor that to themselves. So, what for me at least, I've learned to understand that the feeling of disappointment or being disappointed is something that you can't do nothing about. And what I mean by that, because we are humans, right? We all gonna have wants, needs, right? Desire, fantasies, and amongst how you're acceptive of these as a yes or no for amongst your needs, wants, desires, fantasies, right? Is how you will be able to propel amongst if this disappointment controls you or if it doesn't. So what I mean by that is that let's say you're a kid or let's whatever it could be. You could be a kid. It could be you in a relationship, your boyfriend and girlfriend. It can be your parents, right? Like it can be a teacher. So many ways that you can be disappointed in life. Whether it's your teacher talking to you bad or telling you that you're never going to be able to do that, do things you said, whether it's your boyfriend or girlfriend or disappointing you based on what telling you one thing and doing the other, whether it's scheduling, whether it's different factors, whether it's your job, advising you that they're okay with this schedule and then alternating putting you in something and putting you in a different schedule, right? So many factors of our life that goes into being disappointed, right? Again, wanting what you want, not getting what you get. That's a form of that. But the way we look upon ourselves for these moments in disappointment, I think is really what allows you to have that notion, right? Like, so for me, the biggest thing I've been upset, okay, to clarify, in this conversation, the reason that the universe allowed me to have this conversation in this moment now, because it took me a couple of years to understand the logic of disappointment and also the emotion of being disappointed, right? So for me, in the logic aspect, it's very easy for me to accept somebody or my surrounding disappointing me or just disappointing in my surrounding, right? Things of that nature because I have a natural understanding that we're all humans and there's no perfection out there, right? I have a natural understanding that like imperfection is the breed of all of us, right? So why am I holding a disappointing so tightly as if like everything has to be exactly as, right? So for me, because of that, I don't get too personal with disappointment. But when the abstract, as much as I've been these past couple of years attempting to like not have no feeling towards the feeling or the idea of being disappointed, what I was attempting to explain by advising what I went through a couple of days ago is exactly that. Is that you can be as logical as possible, right, in a lot of different aspects of life, but because we are humans, it's gonna hit us naturally in an emotional state, right? No matter how stoic, no matter how if you're a man, you feel how manly you are to not think about small thing or big things, whatever it may be to you, right? You're still gonna find an emotional state behind it, right? It's just like the temperature of hot or cold, right? No matter how emotional you say you are, the effect of the weather also affect our emotion, right? Our thought process and the way we're gravitating that. So if it's super hot and we're walking outside, whether it's a great day for us, a bad day for us in our mind before going outside, right? The effect of that heat naturally is going to affect of our body, and naturally that affects our minds and what our thought process is, right? Same and vice versa. If it's a super cold day again before going outside, whether we're mad, happy, sad, joy, that weather emotionally going to have an effect towards us, like so. And me learning that, it was the idealization of me having to do the observation of that there's certain things in life as human beings, like, right, let's say you can't fathom or stop, right? I may not be as crazy about the idea, like if I get cut, like let's say two people get cut with a knife, right? One person reaction might be like death, right? The next person might be like, oh wow, I got cut, right? But however, both, either way of acting little to the situation or acting heavily to the situation, both would need medical attention, whether it's something severe where you need stitches and things of that nature, or whether it's something slight where you just need a band-aid or something like that, or some paper towel to stop the bleeding, right? Either way, there's an emotional aspect to it, right? But the reaction to the emotion, like I said, and again, you can think about it, it could be also your pain tolerance, right? How tolerable you are to pain, that can affect that. So there's so many different diversions of it, but however, my point in the conversation is to say that whether you're emotionless or heavy emotional about it, it's still going to be an effect amongst what occurred, right? And and for me, it took me a long time to understand that concept because I'm looking at the circumstances as if like, no, 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 there's no race. There's no reason I should be even emotional about different things. If somebody disappoints me in a situation, I should be able to control that idea at all. Why do I even have to have that feeling of disappointment? And it's and and from that day I had to learn it's okay. It's because I'm a human being. It's okay. It's because I have emotions as well, right? So it's like the emotion of, let's say you go into a circumstance with somebody and the person tell you like, hey, you just get out your feeling. It's like, who else feeling would I jump in beside my feeling? It's my feelings. You get me? So why would I not be intact with my feeling, right? What feeling should I jump into if the only feeling that I know is to be mine, right? So the same way I had to accept that my feeling is going to be my feeling is the same factor with disappointment. And with disappointment itself, it's the same way with judgment. It's okay to have, right? It's just it's the extra ridicule of judgment, extra ridicule of disappointment that we then gloom or loom to either us or our surroundings amongst what that particular disappointment was about, right? So if you feel like you've been disappointed a lot in your life and you automatically feel like people are going to be lying or telling you a story, well, think about that, right? You then took the experience of what your surrounding done to you and made such experience to be the normality for everything in your life, right? Because now, when speaking on to other people, you make it a normal or something normal in a sense of like, oh yeah, right, that's not possible, right? You naturally then become somebody that's fighting your own judgment of what's possible, right? Because your utilization of or the view of disappointment has been so derailed by your experiences. So for me, even myself, I can't disappoint myself right now. So I know in time what happens if something occurred, whether I said I was going to do something, if somebody told me they was going to do something, or if somebody said they was going to say something, stuff like that, right? I know in time, in those moments, I'm like, oh man, damn, that person said this or that, or damn, I did say this or that I should have done this or that, right? But if I know my actual reasoning and I know the logical reasoning behind me not getting things done, what am I holding an emotional rift amongst like being so saddened or disappointed that I didn't do what I needed to do, right? If I can accept the reasoning why I didn't do it, right? Or even the notion of like alternating my own thought process to say, yeah, like damn, that was disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself. I should have spoke to that person in a better format. I should have done that job in a better, quicker process, right? So many different ways I can go about expressing the situation, right? So Now, once I have that conversation with self, it's up to me to let go of that moment or hold on to that moment to keep myself in a disappointment stage, right? Because in personality, the way you view yourself, such such view become a view to you back to your personality, right? So if I'm a sorry person, every time all I do is apologize to people. Essentially, what I'm not realizing is that I act and not I act and not seeing myself, right? And it takes other people, placing and things to show me my action, and then from my action I could react and say I apologize, which then says that either one, I'm being fake in the sense like I'm really not not sincere to my apology, or two, I'm just unaware. I'm not watching my surrounding enough to get a clarification of that. Because to me, if I have to be a person that has to continuously be apologetic about my experiences or my doings, then that means then for myself I'm unaware or I'm incapable to look into my time or my action. That means that I'm just doing what I'm doing. It's like being drunk and then after you do something and then you react after, and that's what I feel like happened. Well, at least for me, when every time I've been under the influence of alcohol, it's like I feel like my reaction is my action. I act and then I react to what I act. So drunk, you're walking, you stumble, you hit your hand, and you're like, why the fuck did I swing my hand that hard, right? That's the sort of factor I feel like when it comes to being somebody that makes excuses to being somebody that's just so apologetic about everything that they did. It's like, why do I need to apologize if I analyze or comprehend what I said before, right? If I if I listen to myself before I open my mouth, there's no reason I should be apologetic about what I said, because that means I took the time to hear myself out. I comprehended what I was attempting to say. And even with communication, there's going to be some time naturally, right, where you have miscommunication because are just words are just ways to express ourselves, right? The expression itself sometimes is wordless, but we have to find words in the sense of expressing it to other people so they can actually get an understanding to how we actually feel. So, so for me, and those hindsight, that's the way I kind of galvanize my idealization and how I'm able to obtain myself in situational moments so that I can feel disappointed by someone or something, or again disappointment coming at me even within my own self amongst what I haven't done or what I haven't accomplished yet. So a lot of things is all about just having that true balance, that tranquility of understanding of yourself. You know what I mean? So more or less, we're going to leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? Find better avenues for yourself of just knowing that you are human, knowing that you're experiencing, but do not let this experience be so much definitive of yourself. Again, my name is JaMes Peter P. Bastien. Well, I say P two times. My name is JaMes P. Bastien. It's been another episode of MB9T Podcast Show. Affirm, visualize, manifest to your daily blessed peace, posterity, power. That's every second to every minute of every fucking hour. Let's go.